This is Michael and he's not French. And the hotel does not always have the elevator. Alright. Looks nice, huh? It's a good bed. That's the most important thing. Good morning, guys. Today we're gonna be flying Cessna 340, as you know, from airport to Toussus, and the weather looks not bad. I'm gonna have my breakfast and figure out how do I get to the airport. It looks like it's not a small airfield as I expected it to be, but we will see. Wow, that's nice. Bonsoir. It's very important to have full fastening meal in the morning. While eating this breakfast, I can have a look where should I go to. Just thinking to order a taxi, an Uber. And when I place this one, Aerodrome Toussus, it gives me this location, which I'm not sure if it's the right one. Therefore I'm asking mechanic which hangar should I go. He said 230 because he's running late. Hangar 238. First flight on Google Maps. And on Google Maps, airport seems to be quite big. If you can see, 2 runways, a lot of hangars. This is something I didn't expect. I thought it's a small aeroport. However, we can deal with it.
For a year, but not really, and I don't think, now basically you're leaving, so there's not much anyone can do, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But just be aware, there's a NOTAM that says that, there's no tower, it's air-to-air, in French.
Mm-hmm.
It's your call, obviously I'm not gonna make a call on this, but, you could just taxi out after me and, fly out VFR.
Bonjour, monsieur. Sorry, I didn't manage first time. I'm here at the airport. I hope this is Michael, my mechanic. This is Michael and he's not French. Not Michael. And we are trying to figure out whether airport has any restrictions.
Let's have a look at my flight plan. Where's my flight? I just now packed this up. Let's look at NOTAMs. Okay, these are METARS TAFs, SIGMATs. ATS hours of ops, excluding the 7th and the 8th, not available. What's today, the 27th?
27th, yes.
Okay, hold on. Maybe I'm wrong here.
And even if without ATS, why can't I just depart? You know what I mean?
Because if you read the
local
regulations.
You have to speak French then. I understand what you mean. Mm-hmm.
No, there's a tower. Very good. You're gonna get a slot. If you're flying file a VFR flight plan, please.
You think so?
Yes. Well, you can fly on it. It's up to you. Of course, you have the Aviation navigator. You'll be okay. The weather's pretty decent.
Mm-hmm. This is the berth.
Very accurate, at least on the main. So to get to aux, well, no, it will go automatically when you switch. You should the fuel quantity will be on the aux. So are you, what's your, how much fuel you uploading? You're gonna fill it?
Yeah, I would just fill it as,
would too.
Just to have as much as possible.
Yeah, not have to worry about it. Exactly.
And not to land there, so I think like 50 gallons in that one, 50 gallons in this one will give me 2.5 hours.
So basically you have 30 in the, yeah, so what do you have? You have
31 and 50.
Yeah, something like that.
31.5 and 50 in the main tanks.
Yeah, so that's fine.
Here is the circuit breaker, which is pulled. I don't know what is this cabin.
Is anything pulled? Hold on one
Cabin.
second. Cabin, that's the cabin lighting. We do that so that it doesn't run the battery down. Careful, you have a control lock. Not much else to say other than that. It has an S-Tech, which is a pretty basic autopilot. You know, it's just heading it out. Yeah. Basically,
I'll just use heading mode and that's all.
Your main navigator is obviously the Aviation. You know, I've flown the plane, VFR. It was fine. It ran just fine. I didn't have anything in particular. Oh, I needed to take the flight hours while we're here.
Just filling up tanks. It's €2 per liter, which is cheap. Yeah. Make it full. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't tell you. You can make it full. I didn't know it had some fuel. I thought it's empty. Okay, the fueling is done. Pre-flight inspection as always. It's mandatory, I never skip it. No matter what, but you have 2 minutes to do pre-flight inspection. If you don't have, I don't know, you better find those 2 minutes. This is the safety pin. You need it so the handle doesn't go up and open itself in flight. Sometimes it's very interesting where these sockets are located. I don't see any place for them. Jesus Christ. Why don't just they make one? Oh, here. Very interesting. Good morning. Information Charlie, request startup.
Bonjour, confirm apron please.
Stand by short. Near first flight hangar.
Roger. So no, the startup is approved and report ready to taxi.
First startup approved, fuel clear. Was about to start up, but I forgot to check pitot tube clear if they are clear enough. And that's very important. That is very important thing, because maybe some dirt is inside, or some insects, they could do their, you know, the nest. Okay, that was important. Yeah, I had startup approved, so I'm starting up. Starting left. Clear prop. Okay, 1000 RPM, checking oil pressure here. Oil pressure is slowly rising, but that's okay. Switching on alternator. And now it's doing the same with the right, starting right. Tower, holding short runway 25 right and ready for departure.
Line up runway 25 right, cleared for takeoff. Wind 270 degrees, 6 knots, traffic Cessna will line up on the parallel runway, performing training patterns. Report west exit 1,500 feet, QNH 1026.
1026, line up and cleared for takeoff runway 25 right. We'll call you leaving western traffic pattern, and other traffic from 25 left will monitor.
Contact Ferry information 126.1 and squawk 7000. Have a good flight.
1261 and 7000. And is it possible to climb altitude 5000 feet from now and stay with you?
Negative, you should maintain 1500 feet for 3 minutes.
That's okay, so 1261 to Paris information and squawk 7000.
I confirm Paris information 126.100.
1261, no. Paris information, bonjour, altitude 1500 feet, squawk 7000, 1026 from the QNH.
Roger, Juliette, departure destination please.
Departure Lima Foxtrot Papa November, and destination for the time being will be Lima Foxtrot Juliet Yankee. And maybe I will change to destination in Germany. We'll see what's the weather looking like on the way.
Roger, radar contact. Squawk 7012, please.
7012 on the squawk, and please advise when I climb higher and be clear of control airspace of Paris.
Of course.
Yeah guys, sometimes these interesting things happen. On the departure I noticed that the right engine does not develop full thrust. That's why, as you can see on the video, I was slowly advising the throttle to understand what's the cause, if I still have any power. But then I checked the RPM, I had an RPM and fuel flow on the right engine, which means that I still had the right engine. That's why I decided to depart, to do a couple of circuits. Maybe the turbocharger could start to work, maybe not. We don't know. When you have no turbocharger on one engine, you cannot go quite high. Look here, I'm at 6,500 feet and the maximum manifold is 22 inches on the right engine. On the left, of course, I can make much more, but then I will have high differential and the plane will not be coordinated. You may ask me, why didn't I abort the takeoff? And I tell you why. Because I had the same issue. I did my aborted takeoff, we verified the problem, and I kept on going with another aircraft some time ago, before I was a vlogger. This time I had pretty long runway, so I could verify RPM was present on the engine, the same as on the left one. Manifold was still present at 25 inches of mercury. Fuel flow was present and EGT was present, which was obvious that the engine is working. Vibration from the engine, you could also feel that it works. You know, if one engine fails, I don't think you would feel like really vibration on takeoff. You feel that one side is not shaking, kind of. There is very interesting procedure with this aeroplane. The main fuel tanks are in that wing, which looks like a tip tank, like an auxiliary one, but that's the main fuel tank. It holds 50 gallons of fuel, and this Continental engine spills the fuel back to the main tank when it's not used by the engine, and it's boosted into the engine with over pressure. Yeah. So the auxiliary tank is actually the wing tank, which you can see there. That's the auxiliary tank. And how you do the procedure, you switch on auxiliary pumps, on or high. Next step, you have to see the change of quantity on the gauge, and be aware that fuel which is given to the engine is spilled back to the main tank. So to say, when you use auxiliary tank, you not only feed the engine, you also fuel the main tank with this extra fuel which is given to the engine. You have to be aware that you don't use this auxiliary tank before you really use the main tanks for about half an hour or at least an hour. Otherwise you will spill the fuel overboard. As simple as that. And sometimes this aircraft may have baggage compartment, fuel tank too. So instead of baggage compartment you have a fuel tank. I'll show you from the other video. Look at these fuel tanks. 18.5 gallons of fuel. 18.5 gallons of fuel. 95 gallons of fuel. 95 gallons of fuel. 18.5 gallons of fuel. It has pretty much of fuel. And then you have another thing to do. You have here fuel transfer fuel pumps, and this transfers, if you have only left or right wing locker, left wing locker tank transfers to left main tank, which means at some point you have to feed right engine from the left main tank, and you do this by selecting this. You select here left main tank and you feed the right engine from the left fuel tank. Complicated, isn't it? For this you need to read manual, otherwise it could be a disastrous problem. Checking the weather radar also works well. I just put too much down. Yeah, so the radar is operating. I switch it off. You don't need to use it for a long. I was told by my captain that for men it's not very healthy. Alright, time to descend. I read you too. Could you say again? Yeah, still unreadable. Liam, is that you?
500.
Landing on my discretion. Confirm airfield in sight. Turning final runway 27. That was a good flight. What do you think about it? Write comments please. That was very interesting and challenging. Thank you for watching. That was Konstantin Fedchenko. Goodbye.